Alright, let's take a look at this fiberglass layup, and you can see it's nice. It's pretty even. Doesn't look too glossy, which would mean too much resin. Started to sand down any little sticking out parts that I missed, just so you don't cut yourself. There's the bottom shelf. So I do my best trying to roll these out the best I can do. Again, you don't want too much resin on this, because then it's a brittle part. You could have a really thick part, and I mean real thick, and it'll be mostly resin and very little fiberglass. I try to get this thing, the fiberglass, nice and smashed. So even if it is real thin looking, if it's a little bit thin, believe me, that's really smashed tight fiberglass. Which makes it strong. If you have, again, if you have too much resin, you can have about this thick of a part, and it'll be mostly resin, which means any flex, like see how I can flex this with my hand? This is the bottom scoop of the bumper, so it's okay if it flexes, but if you did that with a brittle part, you could easily crack the part. So you want it to have some flex to it without it breaking. So this one's a little thicker because this is the top bay. I'm going to start making these a little bit thicker here too, because a lot of people complain and say that this is not high enough, and the reason for that is sometimes your shelf on your car is too low, but some cars they fit, so it's really hit and miss when it comes to the fitment on these cars. Sometimes they fit, sometimes they don't. What helps is if you make this a little thicker with glass, when it sits on that shelf, it's going to be higher up because it's thicker. If I make them just, a little bit thinner like this, it's going to be sitting way low, and then you might have a gap. Even with this thickness, you might still have a gap. And what I always recommend is putting a piece of wood here, a shim, and then if you know how to work with fiberglass, you can put the wood there and then just run it over with some fiberglass, a matte, one layer or two. And that will actually cover the whole wood so it doesn't rot or anything like that, or get wet. And then that will actually shim up this part of the bumper as well. But yeah, that's the layup of the bumper, and it came out pretty nice. And yeah, I'll be working on this next few days.